Imagine looking up at the night sky and seeing the moon glowing above you. That perfect circle of silver light we've watched for thousands of years. Now imagine learning that the land beneath your feet, the continent of Australia, is actually wider than the moon itself. It sounds impossible, but it's true. Australia stretches roughly 4,000 kilometers across, while the moon's diameter is only about 3,474 kilometers. In other words, if you place the moon on top of Australia, it wouldn't cover the entire continent. And this single fact reveals something deeper about how our universe and our own planet can surprise us. Most of us grew up thinking of the moon as enormous, looming above Earth with a kind of cosmic power. But the moon only looks huge because it's close. In reality, it's smaller than we imagine, lighter than we expect, and stranger than most people realize. Australia's width just happens to expose the illusion. The moon takes up space in the sky, but its physical size, its actual measurement, is dwarfed by a continent many of us think of as remote, rugged, and isolated. That comparison forces us to rethink what big even means in the universe. But here's the problem that emerges from this mind-bending fact. Our perception of space is broken. We see the moon as the same size as the sun during a solar eclipse, even though the sun is 400 times larger. We assume distant planets are giant because they glow brightly, when in reality, many are tiny ice balls reflecting sunlight. We think of continents as small patches on a globe, ignoring how distorted our maps really are. Our brains are built to understand what we see, not what things truly are. Australia versus the moon exposes that gap between perception and reality. It's not just a fun fact, it's a reminder that our entire view of the solar system is shaped by distance, perspective, and human limitation. We assume the moon is enormous because it looms large, but it's only 384,000 kilometers away, a cosmic stone's throw. Australia, on the other hand, sits right at our feet, so we underestimate its scale. Our minds compress the familiar and exaggerate the distant, and that leads to a world and a universe we misunderstand more than we realize. Look closer. Think the illusion gets even stranger? The moon's gravity is only 1/6 of Earth's, meaning its mass is tiny compared to its appearance. It has mountains, valleys, and craters. But its overall density is so low that if the moon were the size of Earth, it would feel light enough to float on water. Australia, meanwhile, holds deserts, rainforests, mountains, and entire ecosystems across thousands of kilometers. One is a dead world of dust and rock. The other is an enormous living landscape spanning nearly an entire hemisphere. And yet the moon tricks our eyes into thinking it is bigger. So what's the solution to this perception problem? It begins with understanding scale, real scientific, physical scale, and learning how to visualize the universe beyond our senses. When we realize Australia is wider than the moon, it opens the door to other truths: that Jupiter could hold more than 1,000 Earths, that the sun contains 99.8% of all mass in the solar system, that galaxies are so huge they challenge our ability to imagine size, and most importantly, we learn not to trust our instincts alone when looking at the cosmos. Knowing the true sizes of things helps us appreciate the universe more deeply. It reminds us that the sky is not what it seems, that our world is not small. And that perspective can be the greatest illusion of all. Australia being wider than the moon isn't just a quirky statistic. It's a lesson in how vast, complex, and surprising our universe really is. And the next time you look up at the moon, glowing calm and white over the horizon, remember this: stretched beneath you is a continent bigger than that glowing world above, a place vast enough to outmeasure a celestial body. A reminder that sometimes the extraordinary isn't out there in space, it's right here on Earth.